have the right days written down.
Excellent timing.
Hello,
Hi,
ladies.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
I don't think we've met yet. Joan.
I'm Heather.
Nice to meet you. Heather, were you the secretary before for Littleton?
I worked in Littleton for a little while in Lancaster.
Okay, because I have email. That's what was really confusing me because Jane left, and then I was putting in H. Hamden, and it kept coming up for Littleton, and I'm like, it's Janet Fairchild in Littleton. So I was like, going back. I sent the wrong, and then it sent back undeliverable.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So
That's it. That's the
yes.
connection. Okay.
That was quite a few years ago. 4 or 5 years ago?
Is it?
Yeah, I stopped doing Board of Health before I left the town, so yeah, that was a while ago.
Now, I gotta find my copy of what we're looking at. You know, it happens, we bring them and then we talk about something else, and the last time, oh, it's kind of bad, I'll only bring 2 or 3 with me.
You found that binder upstairs with all of them in it? Okay. I wondered, I saw it up there. I was telling Mary when I came in, I was at the town park yesterday with my grandson. 3 signs, all bold red, you know, no smoking, blah, blah, blah. Had
Parrots
cigarette
standing
right next to the sign. And then another one, 5 minutes later, standing between the 2 signs, watching the kids play, smoking away.
At school?
No, down the town park.
Oh, down at the park, in between. I do have to say, 99% of the time, well, not 99, apparently 95% of the time, when someone actually sees a sign, they go, oh, or if somebody said that it's self-enforcing, because someone just go, oh, I'm sorry, I can't smoke here. And they look at the sign, they go, oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So usually it's self-enforcing, but, I mean, to be standing right in between both signs and puffing away at a kid's event is,
Oblivious,
oh.
definitely. Okay.
Now, is this the prohibiting smoking on municipal owned property?
Yes.
Is this the one we do? Yeah. We didn't have another one after that. No, we have this draft.
No, seriously.
Yeah, as we left it, and you had said the motels and hotels.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I've done the
Yeah,
rest of
I didn't
it.
make it to the last meeting, but I sent some
Yeah,
notes for
yeah.
it, and I wasn't sure where we were at with
Yeah.
everything. Because what the main thing is you already had one, so we were looking
Yeah.
at the things that other people typically have, and we were looking at changing the language so you have vaping captured
Yeah,
in these places.
Yeah.
Because the smoke-free law now says you can't vape anywhere, smoking is prohibited by the smoke-free workplace law. This is something you did above the state law, so you would be saying no smoking and vaping in these places either.
that's in the news constantly, the vaping.
It's
Yes,
it's crazy.
schools are having a real problem, it said.
And kids don't think they're using a tobacco product or vaping. Like they don't
Correct.
consider vaping smoking. It is a nicotine product, which is derivative from tobacco, but kids think, I don't smoke, I just vape.
Yeah.
And we're like, ah.
Yeah. But when they do the ad for that Juul,
Mm-hmm.
it's on constantly on the radio. And they present it like this is an alternative to smoking. And it's only when you get to the end they say, well, it does contain nicotine, and that's it.
Right, and they got into some trouble, so they're gonna be by a certain date selling their stuff in adult-only shops. Juul's gonna come off, and it's gonna have to be in adult-only shops. because of deceptive practices. And the FDA says you cannot imply in any way, shape, or form it's safer than smoking. So they have to be very careful with their wording and how they're advertising. It is an alternative to smoking. You're still using nicotine.
Exactly.
And here it is. Got regulations, got laws that don't let you smoke at the workplace, just vape away, and then you can smoke when you get home. That's kind of what we're finding is people who vape, they do cut down their cigarette use a little bit, but then they end up doing both in the end.
Yeah.
It's not, and FDA said this is not a cessation plan, and nobody can claim that it is.
Yeah.
And you cannot claim it's healthier alternative to smoking. If there's any language like that, the FDA comes in, because if you get nicotine patches and you get Nicorette gum, it says you have to be 21 or older to use the product unless you have physician instructions. It tells you a poison control number. It says how old are you, what's your weight, and how much do you smoke. This is how much you take, and then you wean yourself off. Where with these vaping devices and e-cigarettes and e-products, there's no instructions, there's no nothing. You can get up to 30 more milligrams per vape hit than you would in a cigarette hit, because you can order your vape in different milligrams of nicotine. So it's very dangerous. And then you have a younger person whose brain hasn't developed. And I've always said this to my kids: if you see me drinking a glass of wine, it's different than you, because my brain is closed. Same thing with vaping. My lungs and liver and brain is all developed now. So it will impact me different than yours, because yours is still developing. And a lot of people don't realize raising the age to 21 for alcohol was not because young drivers and drunk drivers on the road. The health science proved the brain wasn't developed, and that the alcohol was affecting organs in a different way, because the organs weren't developed and closed yet. So a lot of people thought that raising the age to 21, that's a good benefit, that you don't have young people drinking and driving on the road. But for dangerous behaviors. But it was actually the health science and the medical science that were showing that it's affecting decision making and all that fun stuff.
All right, so we had,
So one question, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's just kind of a general question about this. Our existing reg is called prohibiting smoking in/on public property and places. And now we're talking about prohibiting smoking in workplaces and public places.
The title, that's what you did. What you did is you adopted the smoke-free workplace law in your local reg, so it's in there.
Yeah.
So the title, you already did that, because even in your other one, you adopted nobody can smoke where the smoke-free workplace law is, and in addition to these places. So you adopted it locally so you could do something about it. So I mean, we can call the title anything you want, but we're getting away from smoking. We're going to be saying tobacco use, because you're going to be defining tobacco. We're not going to be saying smoking anymore. You're going to be defining tobacco as, cigarettes, snuff, e-products, anything you inhale, exhale, regardless of nicotine content. Because now they come out with vapors that say, oh, it's just water and flavor, and then the FDA tested all those, and they all had chemicals and nicotine in them anyway, trace amounts of nicotine and whatnot. So anything that's inhaled, exhaled, expelled, we're going to be using the same definition of tobacco that you use in your youth access regs. And then it's just going to say tobacco use is prohibited. And then there is a one liner in there. The only thing that I see that I did catch on this is you already have no municipal properties, and right now it just says buffer zones around, so it needs to say municipal owned properties, parks, playgrounds, athletic fields, beaches, because you already have that.
Where are we now?
The front page, if you look at number 1, 2, 3.
Section 3.
Yeah. So when we go to section 3, I would prefer my towns not to do a buffer zone unless you absolutely feel like it's necessary. And that would be a buffer zone around your municipal buildings, because we say no smoking on municipal property. And what happens is, if this window is open and somebody's 10 feet away sitting on that bench and it comes right here in your window, if you have a buffer zone that says 10 feet, they're not in violation of your reg, but they are in violation of the smoke-free workplace reg.
Yes, they are.
Because the smoke-free workplace reg says you can't smoke anywhere where it migrates back into a building window or vent. It's not just entryways. So if somebody's smoking here and it migrates up to the second story window, that's a problem. Somebody's smoking in the back of the building and it's where the air exchange and the air conditioner vent is and it comes in, that's a problem. So buffer zones, people want a buffer zone. Tell me how many feet. I want to know how many feet.
Yeah.
And what I do is if I got a complaint that there was people smoking in an entryway of a business, what I do is I come in a different way. If I can smell it on the inside, that's not an appropriate place for smoking. But if I can't smell it on the inside and people just don't like walking through it, that's not a violation. It's only if it's migrating back into the building. So some create buffer zones so they can say, they can try to keep it away, but you don't really on a municipal building need to create a buffer zone because no matter how far away they are, unless it's on a road or a sidewalk, they're in violation if we
Because
can
this is
smell it inside.
municipal property out here
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So when
So
it
if someone's
isn't-
smoking in that parkway and we say 10 feet, and a lot of people, when you put a buffer zone on, they don't realize it's every window and vent. They want to do doors. So I would like to not recommend the buffer zone
Okay.
and just,
Yeah,
and then
I
what
can
we
see
would
that.
replace there, what you already have. Because right here, these are just sections, but in your current language, you say municipal properties, including, so that means your town hall, your police stations, your fire departments, your parking lots.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I'll make sure that in the draft that's
that does
corrected.
make sense, yeah.
Yeah, so,
And the private clubs is,
Yeah, we didn't get-
it's okay to make that yes, because we figured out the only one we have is the Rod and Gun Club, and
Right.
they're already,
okay, perfect.
Yeah, right, because Darry told us that.
yeah.
Yep. And then that kind of helps them if they have changes in membership. You know, because if they do it voluntarily, all it takes is one member to say at a meeting, I'd like to make a motion to go back to smoking. So
Yeah.
now you have it, they've
Yeah,
already lived
yeah.
non-smoking, they're happy with it, and it will
Right.
stay that way because you have it in your regs, so
Yeah.
that's good. Nursing homes, that's a no-brainer.
I would think so.
What is
Um,
that?
No smoking in nursing homes. Believe it or not, though, they can still have smoking in nursing homes.
Yeah, you can say that's kind of a, like, because if there's two people in a room, one can say this is my residence and.
Well, I think if it's somebody in a single room, I'm not exactly sure, but
I never saw
I
them
have never
smoke
seen
up
anybody
here.
smoking in a nursing home.
No.
But apparently the state law, there's an exemption there, so if you want, you know, just so we don't have future problems, we don't have problems with
Yeah.
nursing homes now. It's a
Yeah.
no-brainer. I believe almost every nursing home that I know of is already smoke-free. I
I've
didn't
worked in
particularly.
them and I've never seen it, outside.
bring them
if somebody
outside.
came
Yeah,
outside.
Yeah.
right.
So,
And up here, I've never seen it,
Never
either
seen
in a private room.
No.
Yeah.
What they did is they had some area in the back at Apple Valley and they could wheel them out there and, they
Yeah,
could sit.
yeah, yeah.
But I've never seen it indoors in any, and I worked in one for almost 10 years.
Yeah, it was similar even when Woodford was a nursing home, when Mom was in there, there were always a couple of older guys outside on the
Yeah, yeah.
benches in
Right,
front smoking,
right.
but not inside.
Right, and then, yeah, and I mean, again, we would still send the nursing home a copy of this in case, in the legal notice, because we know we have one.
Yeah,
So, and then you got the two motels that they're not anything because they're doing those state vouchers and they're not really open to the general public because they do those state vouchers. It's not considered a residential situation in any way, shape or form, so DPH strongly encourage the boards of health
Okay,
to say
so we
no
can
smoking.
still be
So we can.
regulated. Good.
What I would do though is I would make sure, and what I do is I hand deliver, so I wouldn't call them or mail, I would go to
Yeah.
them and drop off a notice, just like we do
Yeah.
with retail. I mean, sometimes when you do an ETS regs, I can't hand deliver to everybody, but if you only have 2 hotels, you only have 1 nursing home.
Yeah,
We only have
yeah.
1 restaurant with an outdoor eating
Yeah,
place. I can
yeah.
hand deliver to the people that we thought that
Yeah.
it would make the changes, but
Yeah.
we can't think of everything.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, I can't make it to every single person who might have a concern about smoking in a children's park or vaping in a children's
Yeah,
park, so
yeah,
I'll do what I can.
right.
So on hotels, motels, for me, for the draft and the open comment period, I like to put the kitchen sink in.
Yeah.
Everything including the kitchen sink,
Yeah.
and then if you hear things and people present things and people have problems with things and they're giving you some other information, then you can take that in
Yeah.
account to decide what you want to move forward with. I don't think
Sure.
any of these things would be, now that we know about the state voucher program, and now
Yeah.
that we know that, you know, if the train station is a problem, we can post signs up there that say no smoking and do what we can
Right.
with that. I think you'll probably get MTB, at the train station, you'd get their support on that, because I'm hearing that, I think that they want, that they post something that they're smoke-free. That, DJ Wilson said in other train stations, the MBTA, because they have their own little police and their own
Yeah,
regulations,
yeah.
but they have posted in other train stations it's supposed to be smoke-free.
good.
Yeah. And then the only one is that one bar, I don't have it with me, but I was calling the number that I got off of, you know, when you Google something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it rings and it rings and it rings and it rings. I get no answering machine and nobody ever answers it. So I don't know if I had the right business number, because I was just gonna try to say, hey, you know, we know you have this outdoor area, because the last we spoke, it's an outdoor area, but we don't even know if it's a serving area, or if it's just a
Right,
singing
right.
area, or if they're serving food out there, or what it was.
Yeah. So it must have a different number.
Because we kind of have two, right? There's Carlin's that has the
Carlin's
outside
has
area.
the outside area that used to be the old smoking pen, I call it.
Yeah, I know.
And then,
And
But
then
what was Carlin's the one that you didn't think was smoking though? We weren't sure if it was just a waiting area or they were serving.
I think that was the billiards,
billiards had tables out there.
but we weren't sure if they
But
were
we weren't sure
serving
if they were
out
serving
there.
or if people just took their beer out there and had a cigarette and had beer. I'm not sure if they serve food out on that
Yeah.
area.
Right.
But Carlin's, I thought,
Okay, because I think it's billiards. I don't think I was calling Carlin's. I was calling the billiards place.
huh. And
I don't know why I didn't have in my notes the Carlin's.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, I didn't call both, I was calling the same one over and
Yeah,
over again, and
yeah.
all it was who I Googled. So I know I was only calling one. But what I could do is, I mean, we don't know if they have outdoor patios or if this is even gonna affect them. So
Yeah.
we could, keep it in and then let them do a written comment
Yeah.
or come to
Yeah.
the feeling. We don't typically get pushback in other towns. Fitchburg and Leominster are my larger communities. Nobody had concerns when they said no smoking in outdoor. Doesn't mean this town won't, because every town is different.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, I think
Yeah.
Clinton has no smoking in an outdoor serving patio, not just
Yeah.
a seating patio, serving.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna give me a menu and let me order food, then
Right.
it's only in a serving patio.
Yeah.
You know, I'm wondering about those tables now that the weather is nice.
Yeah.
Marcos and Mount Lucia's, they're too tight, they're on that corner. But I thought that last year, at the end of the year, they had tables out in front of Marcos.
I think there might have been.
But I don't know, I don't wanna
Yeah.
assume that they're serving,
Well-
I never saw them serving food out there, but I did see people sitting.
Well, I mean, I can
Right.
hand deliver the draft reg and the hearing notice and say, our records show that you have a restaurant and you may or may not have an
Yeah.
outdoor serving
Okay,
patio.
yes,
We would
yeah.
like you to have this information beyond the little notice in the paper in
Yeah.
case it's
Yes.
something you wanna share
Yeah, that works. Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the board. So right now I have Marco's, Billiards, and Carlin's. Was there one other one?
That's all I can think of.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna set a hearing date and I'll have time out
Yeah.
if something else pops up. And then you would put the hearing notice on, do you guys post yours on the website? Your website? So you'd post it on your website, it would go in the paper. I would hand out to the one nursing home and 2 motels, and the 3 restaurants that we've identified. Do you want me to want me to hand deliver one over to the MBTA station? I don't even know if there's like just a.
It's unattended.
Oh, it's unattended?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's nobody there selling a ticket or anything?
No,
Then we
no.
don't need to do anything, no, we won't need to do anything.
Yeah, it's just a
Yeah.
pretty basic
Yeah.
structure.
Okay.
Okay.
Because in that transportation, it's not just them, it's bus, taxi waiting areas,
Yeah,
any other.
yeah. And we don't have
Okay.
any of that at this
No.
point.
Okay.
Okay. So, today's, well, we just wait to hear from you, Jerome, then.
Well,
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out when you intend to have this public hearing. That's what I'm saying. Time is,
Yeah, see right now, under section 4, ABC on page 3, it says smoking bars, tobacco retail stores, and all town-owned municipal property and vehicles. So now, this is where I would add in, that's where you add in whatever you decided on the first page. That's where we would add in membership associations, nursing homes. So it is, and then we would have added a buffer zone there.
Yeah.
You know, and you could further clarify, you guys, I mean, we just basically, because the black is what you already have. So you basically said town-owned municipal property and municipal vehicles. And I could put town-owned property, including but not limited to athletic fields, beaches, parks, playgrounds, and municipal buildings. Just so
Yeah.
people know what we mean by municipal property.
yeah. And I think we discussed it before. The problem when we first came out was vehicles.
Yeah, and then I gave to DPW, and we gave vehicle stickers to everybody way back when you first passed this. I gave DPW to put in all the trucks. I don't know if it was through the town manager, or do you have a town administrator or manager?
Yeah.
Manager now.
Manager. It was administrator back then though, because you
Yeah.
switched your form of government.
Right.
But
Right.
I think what we did is we gave to his office, and they gave out to anybody who had a municipal vehicle that was not, and then we went over to the police and fire and gave municipal vehicle stickers. And we never got complaints really after that, so I don't know.
Oh, we did.
We did?
Oh, we did.
Okay, well, no one ever let me know that there was
Well,
complaints.
we did in that,
After we passed it?
yeah,
Okay.
DPW
Okay.
driving and with the cigarette. No, they were told, and I think at the time when I was chair, we sent them a copy again and what the violation
The
was.
$100, yeah, that
Yes.
we had a conversation with them that if we
Yes.
would fine them $100, and it would go to the person smoking in the city car, and it would also go to the department head, because they're in charge to make sure
Correct.
that office isn't
Correct.
smoking.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's obvious who gets out of the vehicle because specific people are driving them at certain times, so
Right.
you could pinpoint who was smoking. But I didn't think once we did all that there had been continued problems.
Well, I wouldn't call it a problem.
Yeah.
Somebody still did.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
sent the thing and said,
Good.
this is what it's gonna cost you.
Because now, yes, that's what we did. And then, but since then, I think one of the things that happens with us though is the winters DPWs, it's reminding, because you get a lot of part-time guys sometimes driving the trucks, so
Yes.
telling, you know, Ayer's not one of my towns, but I have 4 towns that I have to come in and do the lunchtime staff meeting to remind these DPWs, listen, winter's coming, snow's coming, we will be ticketing, please don't smoke when snow plowing. Because if you're plowing the 11 to 7 shift, the person getting in that truck at 7 in the morning is going to tell us right away that
Yeah.
the truck is full of smoke.
Right.
So we do everything we can to prevent tickets. We don't want to give them, but we want
Yeah.
compliance, but,
Yeah.
you know. So I think now the thing would be is just moving forward with when you want a date, what date do you want?
I just have one more question for, so does this include marijuana as well?
Okay, we do not regulate marijuana smoking, but we are saying there is no smoking or vaping of anything regardless content. So it is saying that you
Yeah,
'cause you
that's what
can't-
I'm trying to
you
put the
can't
pieces
smoke
together.
marijuana. The state law doesn't allow you to use it publicly anyway. But
Okay.
if somebody's smoking something, we're not gonna be concerned if it's marijuana or cigarettes. We're just gonna be concerned that you're smoking, you can't smoke here, put it out, you know.
But using that very
Yeah.
generic term earlier when you talked about tobacco products, you said that covered vaping and
Well,
Across the
it will,
board.
yeah, because it will say no tobacco, no smoking,
Smoking.
tobacco use, but when you have the definition of tobacco and you're talking about it, it does apply to marijuana because it says anything that can be lit, combustible, regardless of nicotine content. So
okay.
if it's water vapor, if it's just, someone's telling us it's just nicotine-free water vapor, you still can't vape here. If someone's telling us this is not pot, it's my grandfather's rolled tobacco leaves, well, Can't smoke it here. We're not concerned about what it is. You can't inhale it or exhale it or expel it in these areas. So we're not gonna get into the, is it, and to be honest with you, if you're gonna have an event and you expect someone might be smoking there,
Yeah,
we bring a police escort with us, because if I could say, excuse me, sir, you need to put that
Yeah,
cigarette
yeah.
out, tobacco control, what's your name?
Yeah.
You know, Puddintain, ask me again, I'll tell you the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah,
You know, you don't know
yeah,
what
yeah.
someone,
Yeah,
without
yeah.
having, and what happens is
Yeah.
the police come along with us as an escort. We've done it in many inspections
Sure.
over the years. They come along as an escort, it's like keeping the peace.
yeah,
But then if the person doesn't cooperate, then if the police do get involved, it's not because they're enforcing smoking, it's because it became a disorderly situation.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
but we work with the police on that. Like,
Okay.
and police are very good about wanting to come with us if we say, hey, listen, right now, if I have a retailer that we get a complaint about and I have to go into a back storage area, or I have to go into a private office of your tobacco retailer,
Mhm.
I always bring a police escort, because I don't want anyone to say that I stole something.
Yeah.
You know,
Good
and
point, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I've gone
Yeah.
into back offices, I've moved ceiling tiles and find all kinds of things police are interested in.
Oh, that's
That have nothing to do
interesting.
with tobacco
Yeah.
control. So,
Yeah.
you know, I usually bring a police escort if I'm gonna do if I'm gonna be
Yeah,
outside of
yeah.
the public area. And, you know, those types of inspections usually only happen on basis of complaint, but our Board of Health Authority and the Tobacco Authority allows us to go into those environments the way the laws are
Okay.
written. But I would not, you know, plus I don't wanna go into a back office room and get, you know, hit over the head
Yeah,
or something.
yeah,
You know,
right,
it just,
right, yeah.
you know, so
No, I don't
we
blame
have
you for that,
protocols. So we
yeah.
have used the police, but we don't use them frivolously, and we don't expect them to enforce tobacco control. But I will tell you, detail police at your community square events, detail police at football games for the school. I mean, not every
Yeah.
town requires it, but
Yeah.
I know a lot of schools, you have to have a detail officer at the football games. They make a big announcement.
Mhm.
Yep.
Please abide by the state and local laws and keep this
Yeah.
smoke-free, we're on school
Smoke-free.
property.
Yeah.
And police will go along and say, excuse me, you can't smoke here. you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that makes
it's because it's, you know, they're there as a detail officer, so that's how we would kind of like look at,
Yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
their sporting events. Lots of times you mentioned it was a sporting event. I know a couple of towns, the YMCA ran soccer leagues, outdoor soccer leagues. So we had the Y announce to all the parents, please refrain from smoking because we need to, as an organization, comply with the local town bylaw of no smoking.
yeah.
And there's
yeah.
been a complaint. So we helped the Y craft the letter
Yeah,
to hand out to
Yeah.
parents.
yeah. yeah.
And it really, once the parent got the letter, like, okay, we don't want to be that parent at our kid's soccer game.
Right.
So,
So when are we looking at?
Well, hang on one second. So I'm just,
I-
I'm trying to make sure all the dots are connected. So we're defining smoking as lighting of a cigar, cigarette pipe, or other tobacco product, blah, 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 or other tobacco or non-tobacco product designed to be combusted and inhaled. And then we've got a definition over here of e-cigarettes that specifically talks about liquid nicotine.
your tobacco, I don't know why it's not in this, and it might have been when I was cutting and pasting and doing things, but your definition of tobacco would be in here too. The definition of tobacco.
Okay, okay.
So when it says smoking is lighting cigar or other tobacco product, you have a definition of tobacco product, and it's the exact definition you're using in your retail regulations.
And that, so I'm thinking about the marijuana piece of this.
Yeah, but the regs for the, remember we looked at the current, weren't we looking, last year we were looking at when they legalized, when they were talking about legalizing it, that
Yeah.
you could only have so many plants, you could only have in
Yeah.
a certain area, I mean, certain, like an apartment building, or there were all these different things we talked about.
Can't be visible,
Yeah,
can't be
could be
accessible to
No,
a
it's not
child.
that, it's more the vaping,
So
part in public
if
spaces is what I'm
somebody's
wondering.
expelling, they're called dab
Okay.
pens. So they look like vaping device, they're called dab pens. That's what they put the
Yeah,
pot in.
Yeah.
So if
yeah.
somebody is inhaling and inhaling, it just comes under the tobacco. We're not gonna go, is that marijuana, is that tobacco, is that,
yeah.
Okay. So-
water
so we're
vapor,
just
nicotine
missing
vape? We're gonna say, you just can't be doing that here.
So I think we're just missing a definition.
You're missing the definition of tobacco product.
Okay, got it.
And
We have
it,
a definition of smoking,
Yes.
We don't have to.
Yes,
definition
and then,
of tobacco.
and it's not gonna say, but see, where it says, or other tobacco product,
Or
and then
not.
you're gonna have that lengthy tobacco product, and I have no idea, and it wasn't in one of the copies I gave you, I don't know how I cut and pasted it out, so.
Okay.
So that wouldn't cover, it says of type or other tobacco or non-tobacco product designed to be combusted and inhaled.
Yes,
So that covers
that would cover it.
anything.
Yeah,
So if somebody rolls tobacco leaves, Italian spices, or marijuana
Yeah,
into
yeah,
a rolling
yeah.
paper,
Yeah.
or they use a dab pen, a vaping pen, a clear vapor, a fruit vapor,
Okay.
nicotine vapor, it's all included under that definition, because we're not gonna care what it is, we're only gonna care that you can't do it here, because you're
because the vaping.
inhaling and exhaling.
Yeah.
And the vaping is still considered combusting, right?
Yes,
Okay.
vaping is all combusting.
Okay, all right, I get it. Yeah, then I guess we just need that. That wasn't in our original reg, so
Yeah,
that might
so,
be part of it.
right, because,
Like, because the first time you did them, there wasn't all these choices.
and definitions,
Exactly.
right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
You know, we
Okay.
were pretty
So
clear
we just
what,
need to
I mean,
add-
right now, what a tobacco product is it's whack-a-mole with the industry coming out with new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Kids aren't smoking anymore, they're using the combustibles and they're using
Yeah,
the,
yeah, okay.
you know.
So you're at, what are you saying, Pam, add? Because this kind of
Yeah, add the
generically.
definition of tobacco, because then that's gonna tie the smoking tobacco or not
Yeah,
tobacco.
and I will do that
If we
tomorrow
add-
and send that to you tomorrow.
Okay.
Hopefully I will have it to you by Wednesday at the latest, but I think I can do it tomorrow.
And then do you have the other, like, just couple of little pieces that are missing here, like this, purpose of this, choose one, regulation, so this is, this is a Board of Health regulation.
Yeah, no, I will clean
have
that.
all those
Yeah,
pieces,
right here.
right?
So, basically on your draft, I already did that. The draft
Okay.
regulation, and I went in and took it, and then right here where it says city and town, it will
Yeah.
say air. I will
Yeah,
go
yeah,
through
okay.
all that
Okay, gotcha.
and change
Okay.
that. I think what I did is I just put in, changed the word town for air, and there's a couple spots that didn't do it because I just did the
Okay.
find and replace.
Yeah.
So I will,
gotcha.
yeah, I'll go in and clean this all up, and then, this part right here, where it says policy decision, that will be all out of there, because your section 4 is what you
Right,
added, and then
right.
I'll add everything in, so.
Yeah.
I'm going to, based on everything that you just gave me the checklists off, I'll get the draft for her for you guys to prove.
Okay.
And then once you put it, you know, as long as there's no errors, spelling mistakes, typos, when you put the ad in the paper for your hearing, you just
Yeah.
need to have the copy that we're gonna be using at the hearing.
Okay,
So the next meeting.
That's what I'm trying to do,
The
is to
next
figure
meeting
out.
yeah.
that we have, we will get that draft quickly, go over
So
it,
that would
accept
be
it,
May.
whatever. So what did you say, Mary, May 1st?
Well, you know, what, and Heather will probably have this down in her head. We're having a special town meeting in June.
June, yeah,
What's
June.
the date on
I
that?
believe that is June 10th.
Okay, because that's one of our,
And that's our Board of Health meeting,
Oh,
isn't it?
right, but
Really? The same,
probably the town meeting, though, is,
Yeah,
special
well-
town meeting is gonna be later.
oh, later than us, because
Later
we're
than
5:30.
us. Yeah, we're
Okay,
5:30.
What I'm saying is, if we have a Board of Health meeting the same night as town meeting, that crunches things because town meeting starts at 7 o'clock.
Right.
And usually, we don't have any meetings unless we had it earlier. And I didn't write it down when they were talking about it to see that it was a night of our meeting. I just knew it was a special town meeting for,
But if we were doing one thing and one thing only, do you think we would be able to get that
a
done?
public, what do you want, a public
Or
hearing?
we can't?
Oh, we couldn't
5:30,
do it.
6:30,
We couldn't do that.
Yeah, you can't do a public
No.
hearing on a town
Yeah.
meeting night like
No.
that, I think
No.
that's a conflict of
Yeah.
something.
So what
But
do we-
I do want to just tell you that I will be on the 27th through the 10th
Of
Of
May.
of May, the 27th of May, oh no, 29th of May, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
29th of May,
That's a,
and I think it's through the 10th of June, I'm going to be in Athens, Greece through Barcelona, Spain. So I will not.
Okay, so.
Good for you.
Lucky.
So the 29th of May till
June 10th.
June 10th.
June 10th, okay.
So if we get this revised version on the 6th of May,
Well, the next meeting is the 1st? No, the next
No.
meeting is the 6th, I'm
Sixth.
next
sorry.
meeting is the 6th.
Okay, if we get it on that night, or by then, and we get to look at it,
Yeah, review it,
Review.
decide we're gonna post for the public hearing.
yeah,
Then we only have to post, what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks, which the paper goes in on a Friday, so you
So
have
you-
to understand that, so
That's
14
right.
days, because your meeting dates ends up being a little more than 14 days.
So it doesn't work.
So the 6th, you approve it, you're still going into June,
That's right.
Yeah.
because you wouldn't be
that's
able to
true.
make it you wouldn't be able to make it for the 20th.
Well, the other thing is you can approve the draft as discussed tonight, and then you each get a copy.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
As long as I have.
and then
the
you can move
draft.
on and hold your hearing. I could give her the legal notice, and as long as
Yeah.
there's no typos, as everything we discussed tonight,
okay.
you don't have to have another meeting to look at the draft one more time, to make sure there's no typos in it.
Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're voting on the
Because we've already
regulations at the
decided
meeting.
we want in it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you know, and all you're voting on is what's being presented to the public, and if you saw
Yeah.
something in there, you can say,
Anything, it's minor as far as spelling errors and that can be changed without having to change the legal notice.
Right.
I'm just looking at the time frame to do it, because it already looks like we're gonna have to change our June meeting if that's the date that
Right.
they're having a special town meeting.
and also too, it looks like Monday the 20th, if you meet you meet 2 times a month?
Yes.
Okay, well, just so you know, Ayer, Monday the 20th, so you meet on the 6th and the 20th. The 20th is Memorial Day, and you can't hold the public hearing.
No, but
legally.
27th is
27th.
Memorial Day.
Oh, 27th is
27th.
Memorial Day.
27th.
Why is it red in my date book?
I don't know.
no, you're a
I
week
have no
early.
idea.
Oh.
You're a week ahead of yourself.
I wonder if that's like a Canadian.
Oh, it is.
The
It's
Canadian-
Victoria Day.
Victoria
in
Day, okay.
Canada.
Because it's red, so I was
So
like, wow, Memorial
I
Day's
know.
early this year. Okay,
Yeah.
so we could do it on the 20th?
Okay.
You could hold, you know.
could.
Well, wait, can we get it in the paper?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a
yeah.
month. The 20th is a
Because I
month.
just need to have it, so the 20th to be in the paper, the 17th, I just need it by, I need it by the 14th at the absolute latest, 13th the best, so that's plenty of time.
So when would
To get
we?
it-
Well, if we're having it
No,
the
no, no.
20th. It
The
needs to
20th,
be
I'm
in the
sorry,
paper
paper
the
on
10th
the
and
10th.
17th.
10 sorry, I was ahead
Yeah.
of myself, so I need it by the 6th. So if you approach it from the 6th, you can, but like Joan said, you could still do that this evening.
Yeah, you.
Because
Right.
all you're
Yeah,
voting on
That's
is
the only
the,
date.
it's as far as you're voting on all the language, you know what definitions you're
Yeah.
having in there, you've
Yeah, that's
reviewed
true.
And then
drafts.
you can each tell her by email, or call, I read
Yeah.
it, I find no mistakes, move forward with it, and then we could have it posted. So then you have it posted a couple of weeks before the 20th,
Yeah,
because you
that's
really want it
perfect.
posted by Friday the
Do
3rd.
we have to come in and sign a copy of it before?
Nope.
No.
Nope, you only sign it if you're passing it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
so if you're doing the meeting on the 20th, it just needs to be in the paper on the 3rd,
That works.
which means I need it
So,
by the 29th.
Oh, wait, you meet another meeting this month, right?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
so,
we do.
so I can get it to you.
No.
No, no,
we
no,
don't.
No,
That's
we
right,
don't,
we don't.
not this
So
month.
many people are talking at
Oh, sorry.
once.
nothing in April.
That's what I said before. This is our only meeting
Oh, okay, I
in April
misunderstood.
because we have town elections.
Okay.
So if we receive the regs by May 6th,
Okay, you're gonna receive the regs from me literally by Wednesday.
awesome.
So if she gets them to you and you guys say there's no problems, she can post them on the website. I can get notifying everybody well before the end of this month.
Okay.
That's-
You could hold the hearing on the 6th if you don't wanna wait till the 20th. Okay, you don't
I
wanna hold
don't
it,
see how we can.
okay. Well, because
We could.
she'd just have to put it in the paper by the 9th.
If she's gonna get it this Wednesday?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
would have to put it in the paper by the 18th, because I don't know why 19 is red for me. You could put it in the paper by the 19th, that gives 2 full weeks
Yeah.
before the hearing. Gives 2 weeks in a
That's
day.
true.
So you can hold the hearing on the 6th if you'd like.
That's true.
Mary,
I don't care.
what does it look like for you? you, does that not mesh, or?
No,
It
it's
sounds feasible.
long as it can get in the paper.
Yeah, and I.
In the paper by April 19th,
Yep,
public hearing on the 6th.
It has to be in
The
the
sixth,
19th and the
Right.
26th in
And
order
Heather
to.
said that if she
Yeah.
gets them by this Wednesday, doable.
sure,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
Because the deadline for the paper is the absolute latest is Wednesday. I like to say Tuesday, Monday's the holiday, so it would be next
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, well, I will get you exactly what you need by Wednesday. I might go home and do it tonight. It depends on how tired I am, because I have another meeting at 7:30. By the time I get home, it depends on how tired I am.
So then if it takes effect, we need what, 30 days after the public hearing?
So you would hold the hearing on the 6th, you'd vote on it on the 20th. If nobody comes to your hearing and nobody submits anything for you to consider, you could vote, close the hearing and vote on the 6th. However, if somebody submits you stuff and you have testimony,
Right,
you should wait till your next
The-
meeting so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
take it all in and vote on the 20th.
okay,
And you could go for a July 1st date. We always say start at the first of the month and you need at least a
yeah,
month
yeah,
notice.
yeah,
A July
That
1st date.
works. yeah.
And it's the start of the new fiscal year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
So right now, we're scheduling the public hearing for the 6th, May 6th.
I would recommend start your meeting at 5:30 and hold the hearing at 6. Or, do your other meeting business first and then hold the hearing. But whatever time you post the hearing, you have to have it. But 'cause-
Correct. You can't do it 2 minutes before or after. you-
Right, but if you,
Yeah.
if you post it at 5:30 to start your meeting, a lot of people can't get here from work. You wanna make sure that you have
No,
it. I would say,
we usually do it at 6 o'clock. We've
Yeah.
even one time had a meet at it, I forget what it was kind of a contentious thing. So we had it at 6:30 and we
Yep.
did our meeting, just took a 15-minute break and then,
Yeah.
Came back, so.
you could always do 6:15
Yeah.
if that you think you need 45 minutes to do your other business.
Oh, I don't,
Oh, that's true,
Yeah.
too, yeah.
6:15, 6:30, whatever you want.
Okay.
I just as soon just do it at 6 o'clock and get
That
it
sounds
over
That's
with.
fine, yeah.
And then, DJ Wilson will be at the hearing from Mass Municipal Association.
Okay,
So he's the attorney that if somebody asks a technical legal question, he would be able to give
That
technical
would
legal
be
advice. He
Yeah.
comes to all the hearings. Him or
That's
Cheryl
right.
Sabara. Some of you might have
Yeah.
met Cheryl
Right.
Sabara or
I think
heard her
we've
speak.
met them both.
I met her. too.
Yeah. So I tend to get DJ in my area and then Cheryl's the backup.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Okay.
So
Sounds
that's,
like a plan.
Fantastic,
so
yeah.
it'll be May 6th.
So the notice is going to say that you can
At 6.
submit written information.
Yeah, and we'll,
Or you can,
I'll put that they can
Usual.
submit written information up until Friday, May 3rd.
yeah,
So that way
that sounds good.
that on Monday, you can make copies of what, and theoretically, if somebody walks in with written stuff, you'd take it anyway, but like just so
Yeah.
people think about getting it into you so you can make copies for the board. Anything
Yes.
submitted in writing, when you open your public hearing, you say, we'd like to submit written testimony
Yeah.
received to date. And you don't have to read it, you just have to say, 3 letters for it, 2 letters opposing it.
Yeah.
Letters are available for anybody to review if necessary, so.
And Heather, is that 6 o'clock for the beginning of the public hearing,
Mhm.
but our regular half-hour meeting, 5:30 to 6?
Because if something happened, well, generally, we could get our meeting done in a half hour. Unless we've been lengthy lately because we've been reviewing all the regs.
Right,
But most of the time, we don't have that much.
And you would just
And if
open
we
the
ha-
hearing, close the hearing, and go back to your regular business like you
Exactly.
still
Yeah,
have stuff to
exactly.
discuss.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not like executive session, right?
No.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds like a plan.
okay. I have a USB in my, can I grab it out of my desk? I have my,
So the notice will be in the paper on the
by April 19th.
19th and the 26th, is that correct, Jen?
Yes. I did not grab my USB. I had my USB. I was gonna say, if I had my USB right now, I'll plug into a computer and do it right now before I even leave. But I left it in Leominster.
I heard a funny thing on the radio about the vaping business where there was a reporter saying that his son had told him, if you see a teenager with a USB, they're vaping. Teenagers don't use USB drives, don't use thumb drives.
Right, right.
Which I thought was hilarious.
Well, they're just coming up with ways for it to be less detectable to a parent to not even know like what that is. There's one that just came out now, and it actually looks like the PlayStation, the Sony PlayStation controller.
Oh, good.
There's a additional white triangle piece that you can get to use with the PlayStation gaming device, and the vaping
Wow.
device looks very similar to that. So it's like, because when I first saw it, I was like, that looks like my
How can they
son.
say with a straight face they're not marketing to kids?
Yes, no kidding.
I mean,
It's, hey, gut parents, let us show you how to get around them. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Joan, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Accomplished a lot.
Here we go.
I'm so tired tonight. It's only Monday, I can't do this.
All right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much, Joan.
Thank
We'll see
you.
soon.
Boy.
Got everything?
Yeah, I was just looking to see if I stuck that vaping device in USB device. Because mine's a real USB. I live on a USB because I work on the road, so.
Yeah, right.
All right, thank you. I gotta learn how to use the cloud, so all the documents are in the cloud. and I
Yeah,
can
that's what I do.
pull them up
Yeah.
anywhere else. I'm a little nervous about the cloud though, because I feel like if the cloud goes somewhere, where's my stuff?
I know. That's
So,
true.
all right,
Yeah.
thank
Thanks,
you.
John.
Thank you.
Hey,
Okay. All right. The Aquifer Protection Health Regulations, Pam, we were going to discuss and review from February 25th.
I have not heard a thing other
Okay.
than
So it's posted.
Bridget was looking at it. I sent her my mock-up. I can give her a call though and see if she's had a chance to
Okay.
look at it.
And then we wanted some verification of all Board of Health regulations that we reviewed to date.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I hadn't get a chance to go through and double check all your minutes in past meetings to see what has changed. But I did go through the book of regulations and I wrote down all the ones that you have and when they were done.
Okay.
So the oldest ones, which I don't think were gonna be an awful deal, would be body art, which is done 2001, floor drains, I
Right.
found in here was
Yeah.
2001. Outdoor wood furnaces was 2007.
Yeah.
Tobacco regulations, I don't know if those have been updated, but according to this book, what I have in here is 2008. But I thought you guys had just done those, but it's not in here, so I'd have
The
to go.
retail?
Yeah,
Yeah, we just did those.
yeah, and it's, oh, this thing's
Yeah,
right.
we did them.
It's not
Last year.
updated in this, in here, so whether it's somewhere in a pile that needs to be, filed in here, or I say I gotta look through the minutes and find it. So that's one I need to look
Yeah,
at,
last year.
Yeah.
so that's just one that I'm like,
We
oh,
did
it's
this,
probably
Ayer
just.
Board of Health restricting the sale of tobacco products.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, 7/1
Yeah,
and 18.
yeah, so I said, it's not in this book, so I said, so those, what's one I have to look at? Water wells, that was 2019, animal was 2019, those were just done. Your fees were 2010, aquifer was 2010, which I know you're working on.
Yeah.
Solid waste was 2015, and then the transfer station was 2012. So nothing's completely overly old out
Yeah,
there.
nothing's-
But I did I didn't get to go through and check your minutes, because I do know the tobacco, I know that was done. So
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
Jane mentioning
Oh,
it a
yeah.
long time ago, and when I started Maynard, they had done theirs, a little more stringent than yours were, but that was before the state raised the age to 21 anyway, and they raised it to 19, so. So I just have to double check that one and find it, so I don't anything, and to say, go back through your old minutes and see
Yeah.
if you've done anything else, and then add that, and if it hasn't been done, I just don't have a sign-off sheet, it's easy enough to just
Yeah.
make a new one and have you sign it.
Okay.
If worse comes to worse, it may have, I'm not sure if Jane would have done this right away, I hope so, is get the scan copy onto the website.
Yeah, it might be
yeah,
something as simple as
she
finding
was
that,
on
because I'm sure she
there.
filed it with the clerk, so I can always ask Susan where
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
And just a
that's
matter
true
of getting
too.
that, and just
Yeah.
putting it in here,
Yeah.
and then updating the website.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even just
Around
look at that,
something.
I just looked in here real quick.
Yeah.
This afternoon,
Yeah.
oh, I'm supposed to do that, I'll just do that real quick, and I'll look into that, and then, I don't know the DPW, because what's in here is from 2012, but I thought they just changed their fees. And if that's all done, the transfer station, if
We
you
don't
guys.
do
Yeah, we don't
do that anymore.
We don't do the
No,
fees
not
anymore.
anymore.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought, that's what I had it written in
Yeah.
parentheses, I'm like, I could
No,
do the
that's-
DPW now,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
worry about that.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
not us.
And then and I did mention to Carly, because she does all the zoning regs and the code book and stuff, on how to try to make this a streamlined process. So when we have
Yeah.
some time, me and her will work on that to get it,
Yeah.
so you know, just by looking at a page that everything's current
Yeah.
and done, instead of having all these things, just sheets added over and over
Right,
again.
yeah.
So, I didn't ask that to her, when we had time, we'll go through that and work on that.
On the outdoor wood burning boilers, because I think I mentioned that 2 or 3 times,
Yes.
if we haven't heard anything from Bridget, ours were very strict.
Yeah, I think that one we've talked about. We've talked about floor drains and we've talked about the wells.
The wells was kind of a moot point, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
wells was a
Correct.
moot point.
The floor drains, I thought,
It's part of what she does, I think.
Yeah, she thought it was probably covered in septic, didn't really seem to
Yeah,
think
so
there
your
was anything.
Yeah, I
Floor
think
drains are
that's us.
2001, but yeah.
Correct.
I could ask her though about the floor drains at the same time. I sent an email, God, it was a couple of months ago now, to Bridget and to Mark Wetzel and asked both of them, is there anything that you're aware of new in the world of floor drains? And I didn't get a response from either one of them. But when we spoke to Bridget after that, she said, that's kind of covered under the septic.
that's what I thought when she came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really something that we would be working on. But the other one, Mary, what did you say, the outdoor, the wood burning?
Correct. We had done that in 2007. And it was, ours were very strict.
Yeah.
We had several public
2007.
hearings on that. And we asked Bridget 2 or 3 times, check to see if the state has updated, because ours were very good regulations. And if there isn't something from the state, then we should just re-sign these to say that we approve them.
Yeah, I agree. I think
we had a
those,
lot of input from everybody on that, the fire chief,
Yeah.
etc. So
I think that all 3 of those, the floor drains, private wells, and the wood burning boilers are good candidates to just say, we
Correct.
and they're still good.
right.
The only thing is, do we want to do that by, attaching the page the way we've done it in the past, or do we want to see what you and Carly
I
come
thought
up
we
with
would
for
just do
method?
it like
I mean, we certainly could just, redo a
resign
page
a
and then
page,
whatever
sign it, that
information
we
on that
reviewed
page
it,
could go
there's
into
no
the
changes.
Right.
new system, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just send her that and let her, you mean have Bridget review that to say that nothing has changed? in the
Yeah,
state reg,
I'll give her a call and then to just let her know we're gonna do
Those,
this.
how
and
many?
then-
Just
Those
the,
three. Well, the wells was done,
Wait.
the groundwater wells was done, was just done. I have a sign in from 2019.
Oh, okay.
So that one was
okay.
fine.
So
So
the-
it's
all
just,
right.
it's just those other 2.
Okay.
The floor drains
So
and
the
then
private
the wood
wells are
stoves.
done.
which I don't know
Yeah,
what to do
so
with
then it would
those.
just be one of these things, I think, Trish, where,
yeah,
like, this was the original approval, and then we just do a little reviewed with no changes. and
Oh,
then
okay.
We re-sign.
okay.
Yeah, so it's like, just
That's-
kind of refresh
Yeah.
the
What
The
date do you
renewal.
have for the private wells?
That was 2019, so if I go in here,
Um,
I look at wells.
So that must be one where we just sign the thing saying that, yeah, it's still good.
Review date 1/14/2019.
114.
Yeah.
Board of Health monitoring on groundwater wells.
Yep.
Give me the date again.
1/14/2019.
Okay.
So we could do that same format.
Yeah, it's just a little page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the other.
Other two?
For the other two.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, I will call Bridget and I'll email you, Heather, and let you know. She says, no, wait, I need to fix something.
As a matter of fact, on the outdoor wood burning, if Heather just whips onto the state site to see if there's anything different from
Yeah,
ours.
they would have a revision on it.
Yeah,
too.
that's
Yeah,
true.
okay.
Yeah.
So, just compare it rather than be waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah.
I'm sick of looking at it, to
Yeah,
tell you the
yeah,
truth.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
fine.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. I feel like we've accomplished a lot. I felt like the last two meetings, we were like, we kept tabling stuff and waiting to hear and all that, so I feel like we're getting
we're
something
moving
accomplished
again.
tonight, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else on that?
No, I'm not sure where to bring this up, so if you don't want to talk about this now,
No.
whenever. It was just kind of a reminder for Heather, because I don't know if you know this, that we do these mail, like a new application form or renewal application form and a little letter to all of the people with chicken licenses or chicken permits. So those are effective May 1st, so it's like usually in April
Okay.
that they get sent out.
All right.
And I'm sure there's a template of the.
Yeah, I think we
Yeah,
mentioned that
I'm sure.
last
I've had,
time.
there's quite a few folders on the Board of Health that
Yeah.
I had to go through. I spent a good hour or two just
Yeah,
deleting ones that were
yeah.
non. So I'm sure I can find it.
Yeah, I would think so.
So, yeah, no, I can send those out in the next week or so.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of silly, really. I mean, people should be able to send, people renew everything else when they.
Yes, and
they come
I
to
knew
you,
I did
but-
find I actually have found them because I did from before send a letter for those who didn't have one.
Yeah, and then there's a master
so there
list
is I
somewhere.
found the spreadsheet that has the list of, I think, the active one. It's a
Yeah.
printed one. I don't know where the electronic one is, so I can do that.
Yeah,
And then in the midst of trying to find a base letter to write, it says, hey, by the way, we have this reg.
Yeah.
I found a letter that says, oh, renewal. So I can just, I have found it, it's just a matter
Yeah.
of locating it
Yeah.
again. Searching folders is
Yeah.
just the search engine, like chickens, and just look, see what comes up.
yeah,
It's
and
pretty
everybody
easy.
has their own way of filing things. So
Yes,
it may
yeah, so I should be able to find it, no
sense.
problem,
Yeah.
and send that out, and
Yeah.
it won't take long.
Good.
And then as long as we're sending those out, we probably need to send Ruth a letter with the,
We mentioned that before.
yeah, with the regulation that, current regulation that you now need to, so let's start fresh on May 1st with your permit.
So in the letter, it's just a basic sending her the permit, and it's now. with the
Yeah,
newer-
there is a letter that I sent, I'm trying to remember when. Was sometime in the last time that I was chair, so it was before the election last year. But I had sent the letter to Ruth, saying if, you have the animals, so you fall under this regulation, unless you're a farm, and if you're a farm, then, bring the, appropriate documentation. So I think the letter would be kind of just a variant on that, because now there isn't a farm exemption. So it would just be, limited to, you have animals, here's our new regulation, here's the application form.
Mhm.
Please submit your application
Yeah.
form and the check, so.
So just take the whole referral part out and just,
Yeah, yeah.
Did you say we're sending a copy of the regs too?
mm-hmm.
So the letter.
Any
okay,
new,
the
yeah, I
permit.
would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for new people.
New people, yeah, just so they know.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, I'll to just say they want a copy of the regulations, just to let me know.
Hey, I wonder, because since the regs did change, I mean, they didn't change significantly in terms of keeping chickens, but we could put something about that in the renewal notice for this year, you know, please note that the regulation was updated and it's
Yeah.
available on
Okay.
Board of Health website or something. Would not a bad idea. Oh, this time of year, chickens.
Who knew?
I know.
Who knew?
It's the spring chicken time of year.
It's telling everybody gets their ticks at Easter.
Yeah, that's right.
I
That's right.
know, yeah. But they don't stay.
They don't start laying until they're at least like 3 or 4 months old anyway.
They can lay it.
So
They only stay
we're
alive
all
for like 3
set
or 4
for
years.
the regs then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right
No,
now.
they don't lay forever.
Wow.
All right. Nothing from the
There's
Neshoba Associated.
No, Bridget was not in today.
No, I had left that message too. The mail, we just had a dog bite.
Yeah, there was nothing in the mail this week.
Yeah,
Last 2 weeks.
we have a dog bite on,
That's the one that they've got a public hearing coming
is
up.
it Longview Circle?
Really?
Well, when it's through the chair, I think there was a selectmen's public hearing a few years back when somebody had a dog that not only bit other dogs, but bit a resident, and they had a public hearing, it was declared a dangerous dog and it had to be taken out of town.
I do remember that, yeah. It person.
But in this case, I think they're just having a special, I think I saw it posted out there, a special selectmen's meeting just for that one issue.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
okay.
not part of a
Yeah,
regular big
yeah,
meeting. I just was perusing the board there to see if there was
Yeah.
anything I was missing, because this is kind of the year when time you get
Yeah.
special public hearings
Yeah,
for different
a lot of
things,
stuff
and
is
I didn't
going
want to
on.
miss something, and I saw that.
Okay.
And then the only other thing was a poll petition from National Grid for the installation of a pole on Pearl Street. And they have the attached form.
Yeah, Bridget usually reviews those and signs those. I don't know if Jane ever included those in your,
I don't,
but since Bridget wasn't in today, she didn't sign it, so I'm like, oh, I'll throw it in there, there's no other
I
name.
don't think we've ever had to sign anything.
No, Bridget always signs them for, I just didn't know if you
No.
ever looked at them when they all came in from the Board of
I've
Selectmen
never
Department
noticed
Review.
if they were.
Yeah, I
don't think
didn't
she's
know.
ever had to sign anything.
It's
for
just
that.
a notice, so put it back in the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
interdepartmental review, so anything that comes through the zoning, Board of Health, I mean, yeah, well, I've worked in history, yes. Zoning, Board of Health, planning, zoning,
Okay.
Bridget reviews and
Yeah.
signs as part of the Board of Health, I just didn't know it. I know you would see her signed with her comment.
Yeah.
Since she
Yeah.
wasn't in today, she hadn't signed it, so I'm like, oh, I'll let you guys
Yeah.
see it.
Makes sense.
She would just sign no comment, it's a board, it's a poll, it's not gonna
Yeah.
concern the Board of Health at all, so.
Yeah.
but-
Okay, no bills, miscellaneous, anything else anybody has to offer?
That's it.
And then the action items for May 6th, pretty much have that
I
down
think
here.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to reappoint Julie in
Oh, what,
May?
that is coming up, isn't it?
I
thought
think
I
it's-
saw something.
Mm.
It wasn't in here.
Did that the last, I think it was back in March,
Well,
back.
we did that. We signed the
We
the
did
paper,
this.
yes, that's
Yes.
right.
We did.
Not the last meeting,
No,
I
the
think the
meeting
meeting
before.
before.
Yeah, because I notarized that.
Yep, yep.
Okay.
But was that
Yes,
for
I-
this coming year, or was that the money we paid her for her
The
that
stipend.
stipend? That's what I think we did.
Oh,
So the last meeting you signed the letter for the stipend. The meeting before that, you appointed her for reappointment, and it had to go to the state for approval. Once the state approved her appointment from you guys for this bar inspector, then animal control, then the stipend.
That's the thing you had to notarize.
Yes, so I notarized the appointment that went to the state for the animal or bar.
So we're all set
So
for
you should
this
be all set.
calendar year.
Yes.
For this fiscal year, I should say.
Yes.
Nice article about the owl. by
Did
the
you
way.
see it when she let it go? Oh, it was so
That's
impressive.
Very cool.
Very cool. That was neat.
Yep. Poor little thing.
Yeah. So the action items are going to be, is going to be the regular meeting. Excuse me, the regular meeting from 5:30 to 6, and the public hearing after it's been posted will be on May 6th.
And then we can decide then what we're gonna do about June, since there's a
Yeah.
special town meeting
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah, because we could actually move, if, I was just looking at the dates, if we just move to the 3rd and the 17th would be fine. We'd get around it that way.
Because that's June 10th, so if we went,
Yeah.
so our main meetings are the 6th and the 20th. So even if we went to the
Yes.
3rd,
But we can, I think we
Let's
can
do
wait
that.
till the next.
Yeah, we can
time
decide after
too.
next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we can discuss that. All right. Anything
And then
else?
maybe she'll give us a follow-up on that, because that was a whole
Yes,
page of things.
extensive,
yeah.
Very extensive. I'd
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
update on that. Don't you think we should by then?
Mhm.
Because that was,
I can call her and ask her if
Was
she's
that-
got anything more on it.
I'm trying to think, it was a couple of, because there was nothing last meeting.
And it was the meeting before.
Yeah, it was the meeting before.
And it, because you gave it to me to read, and I said, oh my God, this is a huge special
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
She might have some more info by now.
yeah.
Well, there has to be some, he signed it,
Yeah,
so there has to have been an update on what's ongoing.
right,
Yeah. I think so.
okay. Okay.
All right, then if we have, we got everything covered?
Think so.
I
That was a
think
lot
so.
tonight in a short time.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned at 6:44.
Four, yeah.